behind the headlines, the show that goes beyond the breaking news, and to uncover the real stories of what has been happening that is in our country and beyond. I'm Angela Kabete, and I'm not alone. I'm here with Mr. Kimani. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm very good.
You're doing well?
I'm doing well. I thank God for life today. I thank Him for a new day. I thank Him for a week that is coming to an end in a very good way. However, we are still mourning.
You're still mourning?
Elbagon lost around 12 people at a go within an accident that happens within a fracture or a fraction of a second in a place that has been known to be a black spot. We are, however, we feel consoled. We were visited by the Deputy President, Professor Kithure Kindiki, yesterday, who was hosted by the Governor, Her Excellency Susan Kihika, at Elbagon when they were in a mass, a joint mass for the fallen. I think 6 out of the 12 who got perished into that particular accident, and the Vice President, or the Deputy President rather, gave us a promise that the Rironi Mau Summit Road, the expansion of that particular road and the entire bit of it, all the way from Limuru, Rironi to Mau Summit, will be constructed, or rather the job allocation has been done to the contractor. He's saying that by July the entire job will have commenced, which is a very good thing. We really wait upon it. We really wait to see the promise come true, because so many promises have been made, but majority of them have not been fulfilled.
Yeah, and now
he also said that that particular section, the Aremi Chepode Bridge, will be inspected once again by the engineers to ensure that short-term measures can be taken. No, but Kenyans, we are fond of making short-term measures. When we tell people not to speed, instead of checking that they are not speeding, we start installing bumps, speed bumps. Why? We'll end up having bumps. We may end up having bumps all over. Instead of doing that, let's farm it that there is no speeding within this particular area. The speed limit is this and that, and whoever is found breaking the rules should be held responsible.
But is that happening with the traffic officers who you took now?
They are fond of kafije.
There's a way they do it.
These days they actually not drop it. They stick it towards the door lock. So the police just comes and pretends to be talking to the driver, inspecting the mirrors, inspecting the tires, and tells them off when they have already gotten their dues. So it's a very bad kind of character behavior that we have. It's a culture that we are cultivating in the country, and it's not good at all.
Okay, and now today, let's dive into the politics and governance. And mtu ambaye tutakuwa tunaangazia, that is Bwana Gachagua, the former deputy president. What do you think about the new party?
Well, Gachagua has grown into a political monster.
A political monster?
A political monster.
Why?
If you look at the life of Gachagua and the political life of Bwana Gachagua, before he exited the deputy president's office, nobody knew that he would grow into the kind of monster he has grown into.
But he's becoming a leader.
He has really tried to mobilize and marshal energies together around him within the Mount Kenya region, and the launch of his party worked out well for him in terms of trying to show that he's not as a tribal leader as he has been branded before by his
tribal?
According to the kind of lineup that he came up with, we can actually see that truly he's not tribal. However, we are yet to see how he navigates his political ship around other regions within outside Mount Kenya, because within Mount Kenya we can say he has conquered, although the launch of the party itself, was kind of an anti-climax by itself. Why do I say so? It puts Gachagua in a position of mistrust between now him and other opposition leaders. Say Kalonzo, say Matiang'i, say Eugene Wamalwa, say Martha Wangari Karua. I think Bwana Gachagua would have managed to remain the political monster that I'm talking about, if or rather had he not launched this particular party,
but you see,
he would have opted to join an existing party or still hide behind other existing parties until time is ripe for him to come up and say that I belong to this particular party, because it was done in a very low-key manner.
And you saw him advising even that is Fred Matiang'i to launch his party.
He's doing so so that he can still cultivate that particular trust that he's seeing is now slipping away through the fingers, because once he has his own political party, it means that he may also be in the ballot, which creates a wedge between him and other coalition partners that they would have coalesced together, form a coalition and debate amongst themselves on who should be their flag bearer. But now joining the race makes it difficult for the coalition partners to come together, and that makes the president of the day smile all his way.
Happy because
he's very happy because this kind of the new party plants a seed of disunity amongst the opposition leaders. Going by the history of coalition formations within this particular country, we've seen how those formations work. Some work best after elections, some have been formed before and they have worked before elections, but mistrust amongst the coalition partners makes them or rather derails the unity amongst themselves, and that pleases, that's very pleasant to the president of the day. However, I liked the party slogan and the party symbol when they say sikiza ground, sikiza wa Kenya. I think this a call that rallies very well and it resonates very well with every Kenyan today, because this is what we are calling every leader to do, all the way from the MCAs, the MPs, the women reps, senators, governors, and the president and the deputy himself. It's high time that they listened to what Kenyans are talking about. Remember, like today, we are lamenting. I'm a parent to a candidate in one of the schools in Kenya, and today we are being told that there is no money for exams. KCSE won't happen for the first time since independence.
For the first time.
Now we are telling our leaders, listen to the ground.
So we
listen
can say
to
the slogan is good.
People. It is.
But is Bwana Gachagua doing the same thing, you know, according to the slogan?
He has begun doing so.
Okay.
Remember, he is the same gentleman anyway, who, when we were in Azimio, I still belong to Azimio, when we tried to convince him that the political path he had taken that particular time was not the best, he said no. He couldn't listen at all to the elders then. Na unajua Waswahili walisema usiposikiza wakuu mwishowe utavujika guu. The limping Gachagua now has become a listening Gachagua.
But now let's imagine if he was not impeached, he was still in leadership. It means that he could not have been listening to what people are saying.
I echo your sentiments. Gachagua has been a stubborn Gachagua there before. I think the impeachment has done some reincarnation of this particular gentleman. Today he resonates very well with the crowd. I think it's because Kenyans still have not gotten have not realized the importance of other elected leaders when it comes to solving their own issues. We should not be imagining that Gachagua will undo all the mess that has been done in this particular country.
But at least he's trying, you know, by the
but we are supposed to look at his past. What is his history? Has he ever been known to construct, or has he always been known to deconstruct and demolish?
History
because for Gachagua, we are hardly told of instances where he contributed immensely in the growth of this particular nation, in the political landscaping of this particular nation, gearing it towards good leadership.
So can you say that if he vies for 2027 presidency, you know, elections, he can become a good leader?
No, given the kind of electorate that we have, he may emerge number one, given that you will have enough votes, or rather massive votes, but you will not meet the constitutional requirements of 25 of having led in 25 of the 47 counties. So he will lead, yes, but that will force a rerun.
The qualifications.
the qualifications, we are yet to see what the courts will decide. Remember, we've been told that the three panel judge bench that was empaneled by Deputy CJ Philomena Mwilu was constituted illegally. And I've seen in one of the papers that the determination of that particular case will be postponed.
Yeah, actually, I have it on that is page 9 of the Standard.
Yes.
And they're saying that former deputy president impeachment case hearing postponed. That is on May 9, a 3-judge bench of the Court of the Appeal compromising the judges. That is Daniel Musinga.
Yes.
Another one is Daniel Musinga and Mumbi Ngugi and Francis Tuyot ruled that the deputy Chief Justice Philomena Mwilu acted outside her constitutional powers, empaneling the bench that was set to hear Gachagwa's petitions. But I'm wondering, why is the case still there? Because it's not that he'll come back to leadership?
Well, it is an argument that we wait here and see, because it has never happened in this particular country. It's a precedence. It's a new case that has no equal in this particular country. So we can only wait, me and you, to see how the legal minds play around this particular issue. But should Gachagua be let free by the courts to run for presidency,
that is the big question.
We are likely to have a disjointed opposition, and that is the joy of the current leadership. So if they really want to come up strongly and win against President William Ruto, they have to give us a single presidential flag bearer, and not just around chapati. The launch of a party by Gachagua yesterday, the DCP party, one, I don't like the name, I don't know.
You
Democratic,
don't like the name?
I don't know.
Why?
It doesn't seem to resonate with me well, but the
the
slogan does.
It's connected with the citizens.
Well, it does. You know, I've talked of the I don't want to call them illiterate voters, but in majority of the cases, they are swayed by emotions. Right now, if you ask them, what characteristic, what character in Geoffrey Gachagua have you seen that is worth the leadership of this particular country? And to let them understand it better, I want every Kenyan to imagine that he is a CEO or a managing director of a company that is worth 100 million. And I will ask them, is Gachagua the best person that you can hire to lead that particular company of yours?
Oh, that's the way to reason.
That is it. Because in majority of the cases in Kenya, like young families today are doing, they will hire a house help or a shaba boy. Before they are convinced that the shaba boy or the house help is suitable enough to work, they will ask for her or his living certificate, school living certificate, and the highest attained schooling grade. But when it comes to electing our leaders, we hardly go that direction. We only look around and see who has the loudest PA system, who has the best and the most beautiful choir, who resonates with us well in terms of giving us what we need today, a meal for a day, a meal for a week, a meal for a month. We really need to change the kind of
Our way
of choosing our leaders. Integrity must be put on the forefront. Character, you know, these days we are fond of electing people whose characters we know very well, imagining that once they go to parliament, once they swear holding a holy book, that their character will change. It will not change, it only becomes better. If you elect a looter today, you are only making him a better looter, a well-guarded looter. It's good and it's imperative upon every individual today in Kenya that before 2027 comes, let us start putting our leaders on a sieve. Let's filter them. If anybody is known for looting, if anybody is known for being a thug, if anybody is disqualified by Chapter 6, not by IBC as they put it, but by ourselves, because we live together with these leaders. But we know that some of them are thugs per se. We know some of them have ongoing cases in courts and the like. So going back to Gachagua, what is his character? What is he known for? What are his qualifications? where can it be cited that the country was in a situation, or the community was in a situation, and his contribution led to the glory, led to the success, led to development, led to well-being of the society or the Kenyan community at large? Can
we say that Gachagua should collaborate with the government to make sure that, apart from identifying the problems that he's identifying, that the government is not functioning, he offers solutions?
Yeah, I think with the launch of the party, the positive bit about the launching of the party is now that he has gotten structures within the party. The party has gotten leadership, a leadership that portrays him now not as a tribal leader, as he has been branded before. It is imperative upon him and then the leadership of the party now to make sure that it keeps the government of the day on toes. Every development by the government of the day should be scrutinized by this particular party now. Remember the way Raila Amolo Odinga has been doing it in the opposition.
Is it to an
extent of being branded as the barbar of opposition in Kenya? Gachagua was almost fitting into those boots. Why not for his formation of the or the launch of the new party that was very low key? I think Gachagua has the ability now, given that he has been sitting under a tree there to Amonyoro. He has managed to meet enough leaders, marshal them towards a certain direction. But for him to remain suitable in the eyes and the ears of Kenyans, he must appear to have a team, a credible team of men who are qualified, men whose integrity is known and is right with our constitution, men who are dependable, women who are dependable within that particular team, and start challenging the government, criticizing it objectively.
Now, let's say, should we say that now Gachagua will become the opposition? Because can we say Baba is playing his role as the opposition since he joined the broad-based government?
Baba is a political animal. We may not entirely say that Baba...
A political animal?
Yes, he can metamorphose to anything at any particular moment. Baba is today in broad-based government. But we are seeing him criticize the government along the 10-point agenda that brought them together. And those 10 points may make or break the broad-based government. Remember, Bwana Sifuna, the Secretary General for ODM, has been consistently reminding us of the 10 points that they agreed upon when they formed the broad-based government. And he has been pinpointing that certain aspects, certain games being played by the government were not part of their 10-point agenda.
And now talking about the broad-based government, you know, it seems that the people in the ODM were against that. We saw even Mother Karua telling them he wishes them a happy marriage. You know, what can you say about that?
I think this it's a marriage of convenience, and the convenience and kudos to Raila Amolo Odinga that he did not just get into this marriage. He made sure that the convenience was put down in 10 points. Should the government of the day interfere with the political parties and their setups and their leaderships, then ODM may pull out. If abductions and disappearances and extrajudicial killings continue in this particular country, we may see ODM pulling out. I think I'm liking the way ODM is behaving. Well, we have a wing that is pro-government, and we have a wing that is still mandated to check the government of the day. And we are yet to see if push comes to shove. Like I've seen the argument now about the Nzoia sugar company and the way land and equipments have been released to one individual. I'm keen on checking how it plays out amongst the ODM leadership, because I've checked amongst the governors within the sugar growing region. It's only Ken Rusaka who appears to be pro that particular arrangement. All the other governors have ganged against the leasing of that particular company. It means that the opposition within Raila Amolo Odinga, the opposition within ODM has not died. It has been silent, yes, but we can still see elements of opposition within ODM, and that is very good for our nation. And I wish that our opposition, even our opposition leaders, become as objective as we have seen those ones in ODM. And it is now a call upon Gachagua and his DCP party to form a credible opposition. An opposition that is not just talking about elections 2027. An opposition that is not just talking about formation of a political party. This one we have seen before. Yes, we saw that those people who had political parties and joined the Kenya Kwanza, they had quite a handsome cake within Kenya Kwanza. We had Alfred Mutua with his Maendeleo Chap. We had Wetangula with his Ford Kenya. We had Musalia Mudavadi with a very minimum Mwenyecha party. They managed just to get a fraction of the country's cake. Mutua is a cabinet minister. Wetangula is the speaker of the assembly. Musalia Mudavadi is the chief cabinet minister there. Yes, they got the fractions of the cake of the particular a fraction of the country's cake, owing to the briefcase parties, as I can call them. But that should not be the sole reason why Rigathi Gachagua should be forming a political party. Okay. Let us see the men and women he has put on his list.
We're here to see.
Start criticizing the government. We are in the budget formation. We are in the formation of the budget this year. Let us see these men who are in DCP party criticize the formation of this particular budget, and if possible, come up with a parallel budget such that they will be able to oppose the government objectively, saying instead of A, let's try B, one. Let's try this instead of what you have. We feel and we can argue our case that our B is better than your A. Okay,
we have 3 minutes, Mr. Kimani.
All right.
Let's dive. I think we have dived sana when it comes to politics and governance.
Sure.
Let's dive into the education sector. We only have 3 minutes. In the education sector, tumeona kumekuwa na issue mingi sana. We saw yesterday that his PS, Professor Julius Bitok, alikuwa anasema kumekuwa na slashes 62 billion when it comes to the education sector. You know, what do you think about that?
I think I've never been ugly to this particular leadership, but I want to tell Bitok, shame on him.
Why?
Shame on you, Bitok.
Why?
For the first time in this particular country, we are not gonna have exams because you have slashed 6 billion from the education budget. I think you're not serious. Any serious leader in this particular country must take care of two issues: health and education. If you want to destroy this country, touch the two. But
those are the areas that have been affected, son, especially when it comes to the education. And you know the funny thing, so one of the things that he addressed, he said that the current CBA expires in June, and Kopet has already proposed an increase in hardship allowances for the teachers.
I think they are not serious at all. They are not serious with the way they are handling matters in health and in matters education. Because we need to see some seriousness that is beyond whatever they are. How can a whole PS go to a parliamentary committee and declare that they forgot, they did not consider exams, they did not consider issues that had been raised by teachers, by TSC and the like, before the House? And
the TSC started complaining that was in Feb.
I think we are not serious at all. We are not serious, and that's why I'm not very kind on Julius Bitok. And the high time, it's a high time that he shipped up, or he shipped out. I mean, these are the people who are failing President William Ruto, and I think he requires another shake-up in this particular cabinet. This is a very I don't know whether a word like unserious exists, because Bitok is not serious at all.
But at least you said before the fiscal year budget is somewhere, that is June 1.
It's too late for him. It's too late for him, because we expect to have planners who are qualified enough to let the government know of its objectives, to know how it's gonna meet its objective. When they collect their revenues, let us know what aspects within education sector we are going to pay. If exams are not part of them, then we do not require that particular ministry.
I hope they're going to consider that.
It is not a very kind thing.
Yeah, it's true. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. That this is Behind the Headlines. Thank you so much for availing yourself.
Asante.
I believe at least now wananchi wameelewa what is happening, you know, at a deeper level.
That is it.
Well, till next time. May God bless you abundantly. We're going for a short break, then we'll come back with something great. Stay tuned.